Welcome back to AG Chelsea TV. This is a YouTube channel for news, stories, and analysis surrounding Chelsea Football Club. I will update new video every day. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. Brazilian club want €30 million for rangy midfield talent. The closing of the transfer window hasn't slowed down Chelsea's attempts to sign every player under 20 in South America. Their latest target is Gabriel Moscardo, and we're hearing a steady stream of chatter about ongoing attempts to sign him. Today our sister site Caught Offside exclusively report that the Blues have made a verbal proposal to Corinthians as part of their attempts to secure a transfer for the Wonder Kid. There is interest from across Europe, and Chelsea want to beat them to the punch. The offer is said to be around €20 million, with Corinthians holding out for €30 million. It shouldn't be difficult to find a midpoint between the two, especially when add-ons are considered. However, there is the risk that with the European transfer windows closed, the Brazilian side decide to turn down all offers for the foreseeable future, hoping that continued strong showings from their gem over the next few months raise his value significantly ahead of a January return from some of Europe's biggest clubs. Journalist teases new Chelsea deal to be announced soon. One journalist has taken to X this afternoon to tease of a pending close new deal for Chelsea. We have all been waiting patiently for the club to announce a new front of shirt sponsors, whilst the players continue wearing sponsor-less shirts, but that could soon change, and it might even maybe change for the next game against Bournemouth next weekend. Chelsea have been in talks with the Premier League regarding accepting Infinite Athlete as their new shirt sponsors, but that deal has yet to be signed off. But as you will see from London World reporter Rahman Osman below in his latest post on X, Infinite Athlete are very close now to becoming Chelsea's front of shirt sponsors, meaning he must be hearing positive things on it. Chelsea fans will be relieved that another saga will finally be over and the club will finally be able to receive their sponsorship revenue. Manchester City now want £32 million Chelsea player. Manchester City now want to sign Ian Matson from Chelsea, who is refusing to pen a new contract at Stamford Bridge. According to 90 Minutes, the Dutchman was in the headlines on deadline day after Chelsea accepted a £31.5 million bid from Burnley. However, Maatsen did not want to return to Turf Moor, and he eventually stayed at Stamford Bridge. Despite that outcome, the Netherlands under-21 international's future at Chelsea remains highly uncertain. The Daily Mail believe Maatsen is having real doubts about signing a new long-term contract at Stamford Bridge, which is partly why Chelsea were nudging him to join Burnley. According to Miguel Delaney, that was also down to finances as well. Maatsen's departure would have netted Chelsea 100% profit on the deal, as he was produced in the academy. Purely from a footballing aspect, Mauricio Pochettino is said to be a huge fan of the Dutchman, according to Fabrizio Romano. Now, with all due respect to Burnley, a much better move could be on the horizon, as Manchester City take a look at the Chelsea academy graduate. 90 Minutes believe Pep Guardiola is keen to sign a new left-back, and a cut-price move appeals to the citizens as Maatsen is already in the final 12 months of his contract with Chelsea. Interestingly, there could soon be a twist in the Maatsen saga. 90 Minutes add that Chelsea are hopeful of reaching an agreement over a new contract shortly. So Manchester City's interest could prove to be short-lived. It would be fantastic news if Chelsea did convince the Wonder Kid to sign a new deal, as he is a tremendous talent. Be sure to keep an eye on this situation, as Maatsen's future remains up in the air. Chelsea failed to sign Taiwo Awoniyi. Chelsea attempted to equip Mauricio Pochettino with a new striker before the transfer deadline, but ultimately failed in their attempt to provide competition for Nicolas Jackson. The Blues spent heavily again this summer, breaking the British transfer record to sign Moises Caicedo from Brighton, and overall invested well over £400 million on new playing talent. An ambitious recruitment drive has yielded mediocre results so far, however, with the Blues having collected just 4 points from their opening 4 fixtures, culminating in last weekend's shock 1-0 reversal against Nottingham Forest at Stamford Bridge. Taiwo Awoniyi ran the Blues' defence, and Thiago Silva in particular, ragged that afternoon and provided the assist for Anthony Elanga's winning goal. According to The Athletic, Chelsea had contacted Forest 48 hours earlier in an attempt to broker a deal for the Nigeria international, who has started the season in sensational form, following on from his exploits at the end of last term when his goals helped Steve Cooper's side avoid relegation. Forest instantly rejected Chelsea's advances, and Pochettino has been left to soldier on with just Jackson and Armando Broja, who has only just returned to full fitness following a long-term knee injury. As his only recognised strikers, Christopher Nkunku impressed in pre-season, following his arrival from RB Leipzig. But the France international is yet to make his competitive debut and is unlikely to do so until January following a knee injury. Jackson has impressed so far with his work rate and running power, but has scored just once in his opening 4 games and missed a sitter late on against Forest that would have rescued a point. I think in the future we will be talking differently. He needs time to adapt to the Premier League, said Pochettino in his post-match press conference. He is doing a fantastic job, but scoring is not easy. He is a little bit rushed in his decisions. He needs to be a little bit more calm and relaxed, and for sure he is going to score goals. Chelsea ready to part ways with Malang before other transfer windows close. Chelsea defender Malang could be sold this month before the summer transfer window shuts down in other countries. Report from The Athletic claims that Chelsea are ready to sell Malang before the transfer window closes for foreign clubs. Clubs in Saudi Arabia and Turkey can still sign players despite the fact that the transfer window has closed in the Premier League. Sarr has fallen out of favour at Stamford Bridge, and selling him would be the right decision for all parties. Chelsea have a number of quality defenders at their disposal, and the 24-year-old Frenchman is unlikely to get any game time at Stamford Bridge this season. He was on loan at AS Monaco last season, and the French outfit had the option to sign him permanently, which they decided against. The 24-year-old needs to join the club where he will be a regular starter, and it remains to be seen where he ends up. Chelsea will be looking to cut their losses on him and move on this summer. The French defender has not been able to hold down a regular starting spot at Chelsea since his move to England, and he could certainly use a fresh start now. The transfer window for Saudi Arabian clubs closes later tonight, but clubs in Turkey can still sign players until September 15th. It will be interesting to see if Chelsea can find a permanent destination for the 24-year-old defender quickly. Malang was rated highly before his move to Chelsea, and he will look to get his career back on track in the next few months. Meanwhile, a few Premier League clubs showed interest in the player. But a move away from England is now the only possible avenue for him. Saudi Arabian clubs have been very active during the summer transfer window, and they have signed a number of quality players from Premier League clubs. It will be interesting to see if they are prepared to provide the 24-year-old Chelsea defender with an exit route. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.